Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation on threat hunting. My name is Chaitanya and I am excited to share insights on threat hunting. In today's digital world, cyber threats have become more sophisticated and common. While the traditional cybersecurity focus on defense and responding after an attack, however, they sometimes fail to recognize advanced threats that can avoid automated systems. This is where threat hunting comes into the picture. Let's get into the world of threat hunting. In this presentation, I will cover the essentials of threat hunting, and I will start with an introduction to what threat hunting is and why it's important in modern cybersecurity. Next, we will explore various frameworks that guide threat hunting, followed by the methodologies, and then we'll identify key data sources and discuss the maturity model for analyzing threat hunting capabilities. Later, we'll review the tools used in the threat hunting and key performance indicators to measure the success. And also, I will highlight the value threat hunting brings into the organization, outlines the roles within a threat hunting team, and conclude with a discussion on budgeting for threat hunting. So let's start by understanding the core concept of threat hunting in cybersecurity. Threat hunting refers to the proactive process of searching for signs of harmful activity within an organization's network or systems. Unlike traditional cybersecurity measures, which primarily focus on defense and responding to incidents after they occur, threat hunting takes a more active approach instead of waiting for automated systems to alert us to prevent threats. Threat hunters actively look for indications of promise or threats that may have avoid existing security measures. This means that threat hunters are constantly on the lookout for unusual activity, investigating and identifying threats before they can cause significant harm. So, by adopting this proactive strategy, organizations can stay one step ahead of cyber attackers, ensuring that potential threats are detected and neutralized before this proactive approach significantly enhances an organization's overall security posture. Now let's talk about why threat hunting is important for cybersecurity. First one is proactive security approach. Unlike traditional methods that only react to threats after they have happened, threat hunting takes a proactive stand. This means we are not just waiting for something bad to happen. We are actively looking for potential threats before they can cause damage. Here, second one is detection of advanced threats. One of the key strengths of threat hunting lies in its ability to detect advanced threats that can bypass automated systems and traditional defense. These advanced attackers frequently operate secretly on our networks, escaping detection until significant damage is done. Threat hunting enables us to uncover this hidden early entry, minimizing their impact and protecting our critical assets. So here the third one is indicators of compromise. In this, threat hunters look for specific signs known as indicators of compromise. These suggest may have been breached. By spotting these indicators early, we can prevent future damage. And the fourth one is behavioral analysis. In this, we just look for known threats. Threat hunting involves analyzing behavior. We examine how users and systems typically operate and spot any deviations that might indicate malicious activity. And the final one is data analysis. Data analysis plays a major role in threat hunting because threat hunting depends heavily on analyzing large volumes of data from various sources. This analysis helps us identify patterns and defects that could indicate a potential threat. So by this we got to know like what is threat hunting and why is threat hunting important for cybersecurity. Hereafter I would like to explore into some essential threat hunting frameworks that are important in the field of cybersecurity. These frameworks provide structured approaches and methodologies to help us understand, analyze and defend against cyber threat effectively. Let's talk about the first framework, that is MITRE ATT&CK framework. The MITRE ATT&CK framework stands for Competitive Tactics, Techniques and Common Knowledge. It is a comprehensive framework that catalogs the tactics and techniques used by the cyber attackers across different stages of an attack. The MITRE ATT&CK framework provides a standardization language and categorization that cybersecurity professionals can use to map out and understand the behaviors of attackers. By educating ourselves with the specific tactics and techniques against attackers, we can better detect, respond to, and reduce potential threats before they harm us. So here let's discuss about the second framework, that is OODA loop framework. The OODA loop framework is a decision-making framework that has been widely adapted for cybersecurity and threat hunting. So this OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. This iterative cycle emphasizes the importance of continuous observing changes in the environment, orienting oneself to understand the implications of the changes, making timely decisions based on the observations and orientations, and acting fast and effective to respond to emerging threats. In threat hunting, applying the OODA loop helps us stay agile and proactive. So this helps enabling rapid detection and response to evolving cyber threats. And the last framework is Cyber Kill Chain Framework. It is an advanced framework that describes the stages of a cyber attack from the attacker's perspective. It outlines a sequence of steps that attackers typically follow to achieve their objectives, range from early surveillance and penetration to data loss or other malicious activities. The Cyber Kill Chain Framework helps threat hunters anticipate and destroy attackers by understanding and preventing the attacker's action at different phases of the attack lifecycle. By identifying and preventing the attack chain early, organization can mitigate the impact of cyber threats and prevent breaches. So with all these three frameworks provides a valuable tools and methodologies for cybersecurity professionals and threat hunters. By leveraging these frameworks, we can enhance our ability to detect, analyze, and respond to cyber threats effectively. So ultimately strengthening our organization's overall security posture. Now let's go through the key steps involved in the threat hunting methodology. So the first one is the hypothesis. It's nothing but the trigger. The first step in the threat hunting is forming a hypothesis. This involves identifying a potential threat based on various triggers. These triggers can come from multiple sources, such as threat intelligence reports, unusual activity detected in logs, or anonymous spotted in network traffics. Essentially, mostly we start by asking what if there is something malicious happening that our current defense aren't catching. In this way, we will make sure that whether it is getting triggered or not. The second step in this loop is investigation. Once we have a hypothesis, the next step is to investigation. This involves diving deep into the data from various sources networking logs, endpoint logs, and other security tools. We look for signs that support or of our hypothesis or that does not support our hypothesis. This is where our threat hunters use their expertise to filter through large volume of data and also identifying patterns and piece together the story behind the activities. So after completing the investigation, we will be moving into the validation. So here, after gathering data during the investigation, we will move the validation phase. Here we confirm whether the suspicious activities is indeed malicious or not. So we will validate our findings by correlating data from different sources, looking for known indicators of compromise and using various analysis techniques. The goal is to distinguish between authorized activity and actual threats. So once we completed the validation step, we will be moving that to the response and resolution. So this is the last step involved in the methodology or the loop. So once we have validated that there is a threat, we move on to the response and resolution phase. This involves taking action to mitigate the threat. So actions can include isolating affected systems, applying patches, updating security rules, or notifying relevant team to take further steps. The main objective is to neutralize the threat and prevent it from causing damage. So this is the life cycle of a threat hunting or nothing but the methodology. So this is nothing but a structured approach that involves forming a hypothesis, investigation to gather evidence, validating the findings, and then responding to mitigate the threats. This process helps us to stay ahead of potential threats and protect our organizations more effectively. Here on, let's move on to the essential aspect of threat hunting, the data sources. Identifying and analyzing the right data source is crucial for uncovering potential threats. We categorize these data sources into network data and endpoint data. So let's discuss more about this. So when it comes to the network data sources, at first we have network traffic data. So this is nothing but the data packets that travel across the network. Monitoring network traffic allows us to spot unusual patterns or behaviors, such as unexpected data travels or connects to suspicious IP addresses. So, and the second one is security device logs. So these logs comes from various security devices like firewalls, intrusion detection, prevention systems, nothing but IDS or IPS, and antivirus softwares. So they provide insights into blocked threads and attempted entering. And the third one is email logs. As we know, email logs tracks the flow of emails within and outside the organization. Analyzing these logs helps in identifying phishing attempts, spam, and other malicious email activities. And the last and final one from the data sources is threat intelligence feeds. So these feeds provide us to up-to-date information on the latest threats, including malware signatures, known malicious IP addresses, and domain names. They help in identifying and mitigating known threats. So these are all from the network data sources. When we move into the endpoint data sources, we have four. So the first one is endpoint detection and response. Second one is host logs. And the third one is server logs. And the fourth one is authentication logs. So we will explain one by one and we'll go into the details of each. So coming back to the first one, endpoint detection and response. So basically this is an EDR tools that collect data from endpoints such as laptops, desktops, and mobile devices to detect and respond to security threats. They provide detailed visibility into endpoint activities and behaviors. And here the second one is host logs. So these host logs record the activities on individual devices, including application usage, system events, and security incidents. They help in identifying compromised hosts. And the third one is server logs. So as we know, the server logs track the operations and activities on server level, such as web servers, application servers, and database servers. So this plays an important role for detecting anonymous and unauthorized access. So, and the last from the endpoint data source is authentication logs. So these authentication logs record login attempts. So how many times the guest tried to log in into the application and how many times it got rejected and how many times it got accepted. So across whole the network. With the help of our network data sources and endpoint data sources, so here we can take an advantage, we can gain some comprehensive visibility into our IT environment. This visibility is crucial for identifying, investigation, and responding to potential threats effectively. So each data sources provides a unique perspective, and together they form a robust foundation for proactive threat hunting. Moving on to the threat hunting maturity model. This model helps organizations access their threat hunting capabilities and identifying areas for improvement. We can categorize the maturity levels from initial to leading, which each level represent a higher degree of sophistication and capability in threat hunting. So here we are assuming the starting point as level 0, that is called initial. At this level, organization does not have a formal threat hunting capabilities. Any threat hunting activities are physically performed on an ad hoc basis without structured process or dedicated resources. The organization is primarily reactive, addressing threat only after they have been detected through incidents and external alerts. When we move into the next step, that is level 1, that is called as minimal. So in this step, the organization at this level have started to develop a basic threat hunting capability. They are being to implemented informal processes and procedures, but these are not yet standardized or consistently applied across the organization. Threat hunting efforts are still limited in scope and largely manual. So when we move forward to the mid level, that is called level 2, and it called as procedural. At this level, organizations have formalized their threat hunting processes. They are documented procedures and playbooks that guide the threat hunting activities, so which are conducted on a regular basis. Here, the organization has started to integrate more advanced tools and techniques. So although the approach may still lack full optimization. So moving to the next step, it is called level 3, and we call it as an innovative. So here in the organizations at this innovation level have developed a proactive and adaptive threat hunting capability. They employed advanced threat hunting techniques and methodologies and continuously seek out potential threats before they can use harm. Their threat hunting activities are well integrated with our security operations, and they leverage sophisticated tools and automation to enhance efficiency and effectiveness against the attackers. So moving to the final stage, that is level 4, and we call it as a leading. So at this leading level, organization possess a major and highly effective threat hunting capability. So that which deeply integrated into their overall security strategy. Here the threat hunting is a continuous process with ongoing refinement based on feedback and new threat intelligence. These organizations use cutting-edge tools and significant automation, allowing them to stay ahead and emerging threats and quickly respond to any of the signs compromise. So these are the 5 stages of maturity model from the starting to the advanced level. So by this maturity model, we can get to know identify the current threat hunting capabilities and develop a roadmap for enhancement, moving up the levels requirement investment in processes, people and technology, but the payoff is a significant stronger security posture and the ability to proactively defend against sophisticated threats. So let's move on to the next topic, that is tools for threat hunting. So these are the very important tools that empower our threat hunting efforts. Each category of tools plays a unique role in identifying and reducing threats within our network. Below are the tools that we're gonna use for our threat hunting, and let's elaborate each of the tool. The first tool in our list is security information and event management. So this plays an important role for collecting, analyzing and correlating security data from across the IT environment. They provide real-time analysis of security alerts generated by applications and network hardware. So here are the 2 examples for security information and event management tools. One is Splunk, known for its powerful search capabilities and capability to handle large volume of data, and also it helps in detecting, analyzing and responding to threats. And also when it comes to the IBM Q radar, this is also a famous tool which helps in integrates various data sources and applies advanced analytical to detect anonymous and potential threats, providing comprehensive threat detection and response capabilities. The second tool in our list is endpoint detection and response. So this EDR tool helps us to focus on monitoring and protecting endpoints such as laptops, desktops, and servers. They always provide visibility into endpoint activities, such as detecting malicious behaviors and facilitate response actions. So for this, we can choose the example as the Carbon Black. It offers an advanced threat detection and response capabilities by continuously monitoring endpoint activities, such as analyzing behavior patterns and providing insights for rapid insight response. So the third tool in our list is Threat Intelligence Platform. So this helps to aggregate, analyze, and manage threat intelligence data from multiple sources. They always helps organizations stay updated on the latest threats and helps to get an advantage this intelligence to enhance their defense and strategies. Here we're gonna choose the two the Threat Connect and the Recorded Future, which is a platform to manage threat intelligence, collaborate with peers, and integrate the data with existing security tools. And the next tool in our list is network traffic analysis data. So these tools always monitor and analyze network traffics to identify suspicious patterns or behaviors of any attackers. They are essential for detecting threats that move lately across the network. So here the dark trace is best for its artificial intelligence to learn the normal patterns of life for the network, and then it gonna detect the deviations from this pattern to identify potential threats in real time. So the best example for this is we're gonna choose ELK stack. It's nothing but Elasticsearch, Logstack, and Kibana. This powerful suite of tools allows for collecting and storage, analysis, and visualization of large volumes of log data. Moving on to the key performance indicators or KPIs for threat hunting. These KPIs are crucial for measuring the effectiveness and efficiency of our threat hunting efforts. By tracking these metrics, we can ensure we are continuously improving our cybersecurity posture. Here are the KPIs we focus on. So the first one is time to detect and respond to threats. So this KPI measures the speed at which our team can identify and respond to a potential threat. So the second one is number of threats identified and mitigated. This KPI tracks the total number of threats our team successfully identifies and mitigates over a specific period. And the third one is reduction in mean time to remediate. So it's nothing but MTTR. So this MTTR measures the average time taken to fully resolve a detective threat from initial identification to complete remediation. And the last but one is comparison against industry benchmarks. So this KPI involves comparing our threat hunting performance matrix against industry standards and benchmarks. And the last one in our list is comparison against previous performance. So this KPI tracks our performance over time, comparing current metrics against the past performance. So let's move on to the next topic, that is threat hunting value to the organization. So let's discuss how this threat hunting adds significant value to our organization. So this threat hunting brings immense value to our organization by enabling proactive detection and response, enhancing our security and reducing risk, increasing visibility and cost efficiency, and building knowledge and awareness to ensure business continuity. By integrating threat hunting into our cybersecurity strategy, we strengthen our defense mechanism and stay ahead of emerging threats, ultimately protecting our organization and supporting our long-term success. So moving on to the threat hunting team. So this is the basic hierarchy of our team structure and their roles and responsibilities. So here we're gonna have a threat hunting manager and followed by threat hunting lead. So here the threat hunting lead is responsible for overseeing the entire threat hunting program. and then followed by threat intelligence specialist. So the threat intelligence specialist focus on gathering, analyzing, and disseminating threat intelligence, and followed by some of the threat analysts. So their roles and responsibility are the core operative who conduct the actual threat hunting activities. So and followed by the threat associative, he is like a support threat analyst in the daily activities. So under the threat hunting lead, we also have the data scientist taking an advantage, like making an analytics and machine learning techniques to enhance threat detection. So and also a testing team under the specialist. So their roles are responsibility to test everything from scratch to advance. So coming to the next slide, here is threat hunting budget allocation. So this budget allocation ensures all the necessary resources like the employees, infrastructure, software license, training and tools are adequately funded to support proactive threat hunting efforts. By investing in these areas, organization can enhance their ability to detect, analyze and respond to proactive cyber threat effectively. So here we are proposing $1,575,000 for implementing the threat hunting team. So we'll conclude the threat hunting with a few words. So the threat hunting brings immense value to our organization by enabling protective detection and response. So enhancing our security and reducing risk, increasing visibility and cost efficiency, and building knowledge and awareness to ensure. So we'll conclude this threat hunting with a few words. So effective threat hunting is not just a proactive measure by a strategic investment in cybersecurity, and also by allocating resources towards the training and tools, infrastructure, and the salaries of an employees. So this approach not only enhances security posture but also instills confidence in safe of our sensitive data and critical assets. Continuous adaptation to the new threats through updating training and advanced technologies, ensuring that threat hunting remains a dynamic and effective defense strategy. Ultimately, integrating threat hunting into cybersecurity with frameworks is essential for staying ahead of evolving threats and maintaining operational continuity in today's complex digital landscape. So here are some of the references I have which gathered the information about the threat hunting. Thank you everyone for understanding the importance of threat hunting in cybersecurity. It's greatly appreciated. It's clear that by investing in proactive measures like threat hunting, we are taking significant steps to protect our organization from potential cyber threats. So this approach ensures that we can detect and respond to risks fastly, thereby safeguarding our critical assets and data. Your attention to this topic highlights our commitment to stay ahead of evolving cybersecurity challenges. Thank you, everyone.